Hi guys, I'm Lisa and I'm going to take you today for your Pilates for the over 55s class. So you don't really need any equipment today, you just need enough space just to be able to open your hands out wide left and right. That's kind of the length of a Pilates or a yoga mat, so that's the space that you'll need. Don't worry if you don't have a mat, just make sure you have a bit of a cushioned surface underneath you. And you might want to have a cushion or a hoodie or a jumper just rolled up just so you can put underneath your head if you need a little bit of extra support for the neck and head. So we're going to start lying down today. So you might like to sit forward, hands on your shins, and then slowly lower yourself down onto your mat. I'm going to start with my head on the cushion. If you'd like to start the same, you can. And then from here, what we're going to do is lengthen our left leg out so it's straight, and bring your right leg into tabletop, which is just knee over the hip and shin in line with your mat. Now from here, we're going to start with some leg circles. So you're going to bring that knee towards you, bring it out the side, down around to the front, out across the opposite side, all the way around. Now you can do this in tabletop to start, and as we go through it, if it's feeling good, you can switch to a straight leg. Now with our leg circles, I've got my hand on my left hip, because when I'm doing my leg circle with my right leg, I want my left hip bone to be steady, because what we're doing is mobilizing the right hip, so we need stability in the left hip. One won't go without the other, so they go hand in hand, and to get the benefits of one, we need the other. Try and take your circle a little bit wider now. Think about your thigh bone moving a bit wider towards you, further away, further to the sides. And then when you're ready, you can reverse it. Now you can keep going all the time with this tabletop leg, or you can have a straight leg as you move around. Now, if when you go for a straight leg, you've still got a massive bend in your knee, it might be better for you today to go for the tabletop leg. If your hamstrings, the backs of your thighs are tight, you'll find it hard to keep your legs straight, so don't panic. Just go for the tabletop leg instead. It'll just be a little bit less of a stretch on your hamstring, that's the only difference. Now seeing if we can take that circle a little bit wider, start to open up those hips a little bit more. And take your breath with you. Try and let your chest and shoulders relax now, they should be starting to get pretty heavy on the mat. We'll go for 2. And go for your last one. Pop that leg down, place your hand onto your right hip bone, left leg to tabletop, and then when you're ready, off you go. Thigh bone comes towards you, it can go out the side, down around to the front, out the other side and all the way around. As you're mobilizing this left thigh bone now, we're keeping our right hip steady, and we're taking that breath nice and long. You can start to feel the ribs move with your breath. With your inhale, feel your ribs expand. And with your exhale, feel your ribs melt down. Again, you can switch to straight leg if that feels good for you, to advance the exercise. Otherwise, just staying in tabletop. If you're feeling it's a bit too much of a stretch, just go for a smaller circle. And for the last few repetitions, if you're feeling good, see if you can take it a little wider now. When you're ready then, we're going to reverse that circle, take it the opposite way around. Still focusing on the movement of your thigh bone in your hip socket. So it's not just your leg that you're moving around, it's really the focus is in around your thigh bone, moving around in your hip socket. Your opposite hip staying as steady as you can, and just using that breath to help you. The more you can focus in on the breath, the more we can work the core in every single exercise. Always exhale on the hardest part of the movement for you, and inhale on the easier part. See if we can go a little bit bigger now. For our last 3. Our last 2. And when you're ready, go for your last one. Place that foot down on the mat. Bend both knees, bring your heels in close towards your bum. And if you have a cushion behind your head, now's the time to take it out and just place it away. We need our heads flat for the next exercise. Hands go down by your sides and roll your shoulders back, just let your chest sink down a little bit more. Put about a tennis ball distance between your feet and your knees. Bring the heels of your feet as close towards your bum as you can. And then from here, we're going to take an inhale. Roll your hips towards your belly button and plant your back onto the mat. As you exhale then, I want you to stand into your feet. As you stand into your feet, you'll start to feel your hips lift up, your knees move forward. Chest relaxed at the top, take a big inhale, and then exhale, softly peel back down, rolling onto the mat, disc by disc, all the way down. When you get to the bottom again, inhale, roll your hips towards your belly button, exhale, peeling up. Really spread your toes and have even force throughout the left and right foot as best you can so that your hips stay steady on the way up and steady on the way down. Now I've recommended an inhale at the bottom and an inhale at the top with an exhale as you peel, and try and slow the movement down with that exhale. We'll go for another 3 like this. Rolling through the ribs, the mid-back, the low back, the tailbone, rolling up, low back, mid-back, lower ribs, upper ribs. Making sure both hips are lifting together. We're not kind of lifting up on one side or the other. We're shaking side to side. Nice smooth hips on the way up and on the way down. Then when you're ready, on our next one, we're going to go up to the top. We're going to hold it there. Now try and keep your hips as balanced as can be. Put all your weight in your left leg. Right leg just comes to tabletop. When I lift the leg up, I reach my right thigh bone a little higher out of the hip socket so my hips stay balanced. Place that foot down, transfer all the weight into that foot, opposite foot lifts up. Hold for 2 to 3 seconds and then change. Opposite leg lifts up and change. We'll go for 4, for 3. Always reaching that thigh bone up and out of the hip socket to keep the hips balanced. For 2. Last one, right leg comes up, hold it there. Now keep your hips balanced. Both hips are going to drop an inch, both hips are going to lift an inch. Both hips drop an inch, both hips lift. We're going to go for another 4, and 3, and 2, and the last one, hold the hips up. Big inhale, exhale, reach the leg forward, inhale back to tabletop. Exhale, reach, inhale, bring it back. Go for another 4, for 3, keep the hips balanced all the time. Last 2, and last 1. Bend the knee, pop the foot down, transfer the weight into that foot, and slowly peel yourself down. You can give your knees a little hug in towards the chest, and give yourself a little baby rock side to side. Then set up your feet, nice and close to your bum again, about a tennis ball distance between the feet, between the knees again. And when you're ready, roll your hips to your belly button with an inhale, with an exhale, peel to the top. When we're at the top now, we're going to transfer all the weight into our right leg, left leg comes to tabletop. From here, we're going to drop both hips an inch and lift both hips an inch. Drop and lift. We're going to go for another 4, and 3, and 2, and the last one, lift and hold it. Big inhale, exhale, reach the leg forward, inhale, drop back. Exhale, reach, inhale, drop back. We'll go for 4, for 3, for 2, and last one. Place the foot down, balance the hips, heel down. When you're at the bottom, open your feet out nice and wide as your mat at least. Open your hands out left and right, palms up towards the ceiling, and just let your knees fall towards the right and look towards your left. Feel a big huge twist in the hips, twist in your spine, and lovely long deep breaths all the time as you do. Big inhale, bring your knees to center, and exhale, drop them to the opposite side. Try your best to get your knees down towards the mat to get the biggest twist in the hips. Inhaling back to center, exhale to the opposite side. And last one. Inhale to center and exhale to twist. Bring your knees to center now. Bring your feet close together. And what we're going to do from here is just bring your feet close to your bum. Have your feet side by side, have your knees side by side so your inner thighs are together. And just reach your hands forward just so your hands sit on your thigh bones. From here, I'm going to tuck my chin in, give a bit of length in the back of my neck. And we're going to do some abdominal work. So we're going to do some abdominal crunches. So your fingertips are nice and light on your thigh bones. Chin tucked in, nice big inhale. As you exhale, you're going to tuck the chin in further. Look towards your belly button, curl your head, neck and shoulders up. Let your fingertips reach up over your knees. And then roll yourself back down. So our chin tucks in, we exhale as we curl up. We inhale as we rest back. We try and get our shoulder blades all the way up and off the mat. And then we release all the way back down. Curling up. And bringing it back down. And if maybe it's your first day doing it today, don't panic if your fingertips don't go past your knees. Just curl up as much as feels good for you and release it back. Think about moving your ribs towards your hips as you lift. Create loads of space between ribs and hips as you rest. If you imagine you had a really tight jumper on and you were trying to take the jumper off over your head, so you scoop your shoulders up and then you peel your shoulders down. We'll go for 3 more. Big exhale, curling up. Big inhale, coming back. For 2. And then the last one. Release it down. From here, just reach your right leg out so it's straight. Your knees can stay touching each other. Just the right leg is going to be straight, point the toe. Take the fingertips now to that right thigh bone or towards the right knee. Same thing, we're going to curl up, but this time we're going to try and walk our hands up towards our foot. So you can walk your fingertips up as you go. Big inhale. Exhale, I'm going to curl up, walk my hands up. Inhale, I'm going to release back down. Now you'll find every rep you can go a little higher. Big inhale, exhale, curl it up. Inhale, release it back. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, release back. This is a really good way to learn flexion, how to lift ourselves up and down off the mat safely and work the abdominals. If you can get all the way up towards your foot, go for it. And then release it down. Go for 2 more. And then the last one. Bend that knee, place that foot down. Recenter your feet. Take a few deep breaths. And then when you're ready, we're going to reach that left leg out, point the toe. Fingertips towards that left thigh bone. So we'll be twisting slightly to the left now as we lift. Big inhale, exhale, we're going to curl up, walk our hands up. Inhale, we're going to release it back. Exhale, we're going to curl up. Inhale, bring it back. And every rep, try and go a little higher than you did on the last. Still tuck your chin in. Look towards your belly button before you look up towards your foot. We'll go for another 3. For 2. And last one. Release it down. Drop the foot. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little baby rock from side to side. Now bring one knee in towards your chest, rock your hips back and then rock forward up to a seated position. From here, sit up tall on the bony parts of the bum. Back nice and straight, hands come out in front of the chest. Have your feet about shoulder width apart, plant your feet down. Palms are facing in, thumbs are up, nice big inhale. Exhale, I'm going to roll off the bony parts of the bum. I'm going to scoop my tummy back, scoop my chest back, roll back into a C-shaped position. Big inhale at the back. And exhale, I'm going to curl up. I'm going to wait until my shoulders are over my hips to sit up tall, stack the spine. And then I'm going to do it again. Big inhale. Exhale, roll off the bony parts of the bum. Scoop the tummy back, scoop the chest back, curl it back. Inhale at the back. And exhale, you're going to curl back up. Shoulders over the hips, sit up tall. So we're just learning how to move the spine a little bit with the core. as we float back and as we come back up. We're going to go for another 3 repetitions just like this. Rolling off the bony parts of the bum, tummy back, chest back, arms still forward, staying in that C shape until the shoulders are over the hips. Stack the spine. Last 2. And then last one, I want you to go back into your C curve and hold it. So somewhere you can hold and hold well. You don't have to be all the way back. You can be about halfway or a little further up if that's better for you. If the tummy starts to shake and wobble, don't panic, that's good. We're going to take an inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands back down. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, hands go down. So we have lovely stabilizing muscles in our core, and they have to switch on to keep us stable and in place here. So if your tummy is wobbling and shaking, that's all that's happening. So don't panic. That's where the body will adapt and get stronger. We'll go for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and then the last one. Keep the arms up, breathe here, for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands come forward, roll forward, shoulders over the hips, sit up tall, roll the shoulders away. From here, stay seated forward. Just bring your legs straight out in front, flex your feet towards your face. Sit up as tall as you can on the bony parts of the bum, and if you struggle to have your back straight on the bony parts of the bum, you can stick a little cushion underneath your bum. That'll prop you up and make it a little easier. Now from here, I'm going to take a big inhale, arms come up over my head, my back is as straight as I can manage. As I exhale, I'm going to flex my body forward, reach my hands for my toes. I'm going to bend my elbows, try and get my chest a little closer towards my thigh bones. And after a few bending and lengthenings of the elbow, I'm going to sink down and I'm going to hold it. Taking long breaths as I do. With an inhale, I'll slowly float my hands up, stack my spine up to the top, reach my hands into the sky. And with an exhale, I'll fold back over. Little pulses up and down. And then holding. Holding for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big inhale, float those hands up. Last one, exhale, fold over. Hands to feet and sink. Trying to get that bit closer to your thigh bones every time. Try and keep the backs of the thighs straight so we can get that stretch in the hamstrings. And we'll hold that there for 6, for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release all the way up. And you can release your shoulders out. Give them a little roll around. Now the next thing we're going to do is come into a table position. So you want to have your knees under your hips and your hands ever so slightly forward of your shoulders. Spread your fingers, spread your thumbs, and just have your feet flat to the back. From here, what I'm going to do is take an inhale, tuck my chin in, round out my upper spine, tuck my tailbone under. As I exhale, I'm going to release my tailbone out, lift my collarbone up, lift my breastbone up, open out the bony parts of the bum to the wall behind, and then big inhale, scooping up, scooping my chest, scooping my tummy, scooping my bum in. Exhale, releasing it all out. And then again, curling up like an angry cat, and then releasing out. Big inhale, scooping. Big exhale, releasing. And you really want to feel the difference between the two positions, between being totally arched and being totally rounded out, so that you can feel a place where your low back is straight, your shoulders are straight. Now from here, all I want you to do is step your knees back a little further so that you can create a line between your shoulder, your hip and your knee. So the knees just go back a little bit further. Now if anyone has any issues with their wrists, Just roll up the front of your mat or put a cushion underneath your wrists. That's going to give a little bit of extra support here, okay? From here, I've got a line between my shoulder, hip and knee. I'm going to squeeze the muscles in my bum to keep my back nice and straight. Place all the weight and focus into my left hand. My right hand's going to float up into the sky. When it does, I release my left shoulder from my ear. Big inhale, bring the hand back down. Then exhale, left arm, reaching up, open out. Inhale to bring the hand down. And exhale to change. Inhale, floating down. Exhale to change. So just a little bit of rotation work for the spine in our half plank position, so our core is still stabilizing us. And again, if you need to have something underneath the hands for a bit of support for the wrists, go for it. We'll go for another 3, for 2, and last one. Both hands on the mat, knees nice and wide now, feet come together, sit your bum back on your heels, reach your hands forward. Sink your chest down towards the mat, sink your head down between your shoulders, and just take nice long deep breaths. Try and keep the shoulder blades away from the ears. I'm going to hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to bring ourselves up now, back to your table position. From here, hands stay where they are. Tuck your toes under. We're going to lift our bum up. We're into this elephant position now. So lengthen your legs. Try and have your legs straight. Spread your fingers, spread your thumbs, and really sink your head between your shoulders. Sink your chest towards your thighs. Try and have the backs of the thighs as straight as your body will allow. And just press your breastbone forward between your thigh bones as best you can. You can do a little bob forward and back if you need it, to sink a little deeper into the stretch. Now from here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start to shift my body weight forward. I'm going to start to bring my shoulders towards my wrists, but not beyond them. I'm going to bring my head through my shoulders. My collarbone is open. I'm in a plank position now. From here, I'm going to bend my elbows, lower my body to the mat, my hips to the mat, and then lengthen my elbows, lift my chest up. Feet are flat to the back now. Open out my collarbone, lift my breastbone up, and press my hips down. Eye focus lifts up. Deep breaths. Hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, I'm going to press myself back up, tuck my toes under, up to a plank. From there, I'm going to sink my head, sink my chest back into my elephant stretch. Keep the breath nice and long. From here again, shift the body weight forward into your plank. Bend your elbows, drop your hips, lift up. Flatten your feet to the back, open out your collarbone, lift the breastbone up. And then press yourself back up, tuck your toes under into your plank, back to your elephant stretch. 2 more times. We're going to bring the body weight forward, bend the elbows, press through. Flatten the feet to the back, lengthen through your body from your toes right the way through to your head. Create as much distance as you can. Tuck the toes under, up to your plank, back to your elephant. We're going to go 1 more. Body weight forward, bending the elbows, dropping the hips, pressing up. Collarbone as open as can be now, shoulders as open as can be. Tucking the toes under, bum up, head down, look between your knees, sink your chest towards your thighs, and just take some long deep breaths here. Take your breath up into the bony parts of your bum, and with your inhale feeling them expand out a little bit wider, and with your exhale drawing back to center. Legs stay nice and straight, and we'll hold that there for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, slowly walk your hands towards your feet. Keep your hands down by your feet, sink your head between your shoulders, and sink your chest towards your thighs. You can shake your head no, and then nod your head yes. And just let your head hang down nice and heavy. Take your left elbow in your right hand, your right elbow in your left hand. Take both elbows across to the outside of your right knee. Then bring the elbows across to the outside of your left. And just swing the body from left to right. Releasing the spine, releasing the hips. You can release those hands to center now. Sink your head down again. Keep your chest as close to your thighs as you can now. Try to lengthen the backs of your thighs. Try to lengthen the legs. Keeping the chest close. When you can't get the legs any straighter, let your chest peel off just enough to get the legs fully straight. And then very gently we can start to roll the spine up, one disc at a time. All the way to the top. When you get to the top, rolling the shoulders away, lifting the eye focus up, and then rolling the shoulders forward. Take a big inhale, arms reach up, exhale out and around, and one more big breath up and out, and you're all done. Well done.